be honest. Graduating last spring felt more like a countdown than a celebration. My communications degree was collecting dust. My credit card was maxed out. And my 2012 Honda Civic, the car that had been with me since high school, was coughing through its final miles. I could feel the engine giving out on me, sputtering on those long drives home. Then I found the listing. A furnished room in a 2-bedroom apartment, just 10 minutes from downtown. Dirt cheap, no deposit. It seemed too good to be true. But here's the kicker. The ad didn't have any photos. That should have been the first red flag. The landlord, Mr. Eldon, was tall, paper-thin, pale like he hadn't seen the sun in years. His eyes were cloudy yellow, almost like they'd lost their natural shine. When he spoke, his voice was soft, deliberate, almost like he didn't want anyone to overhear him. "You'll be in the room on the left," he said. "Don't open the closet after midnight." I laughed, assuming it was a joke, but his expression didn't change. He handed me a single key, walked away, and without a word, it felt off. The apartment wasn't bad, just old. The floors creaked under my weight, and the kitchen window wouldn't open, no matter how hard I tried. The walls were covered in a greasy film, the kind that made me wonder if anyone had ever bothered to clean. My roommate, James, worked nights. The landlord said he mostly kept to himself, which was fine by me. The room was fully furnished, twin bed, a bookshelf, a small desk, and a floor-length mirror leaning in the corner. But there was one thing I couldn't shake. The closet. The sliding door screamed as I pulled it open. Inside, plastic hangers, a cardboard box labeled winter, and an old cassette recorder blinking red on the top shelf. I assumed it was James's. I didn't touch it. 2 a.m. The apartment was dead silent. Then I heard it. My voice. It wasn't loud, not scary yet, just familiar. I told myself it was a dream, but when I sat up, it didn't stop. I grabbed my phone, flicked on the light, and walked toward the closet. The recorder's red light blinked slowly, like it was waiting for something. I opened the door. Nothing. I didn't press play. The next morning, I casually mentioned it to James. "Don't touch it," he said, his voice suddenly cold. He stared at his plate, barely touching his food. "And don't speak to it, especially after midnight." I asked what it was, but he just stood up and walked away without saying another word. I stayed up that night. Midnight came, and nothing. I breathed a sigh of relief. Then, "Hey," my voice, clear, too calm. "Let me out." I froze. "You left me in here, remember?" It was louder this time. I stood up, crossed the room, and rushed to the closet. The recorder was gone. In its place, a Polaroid photo. It was me, sleeping in my bed, taken from the closet. I confronted James the next morning. He didn't even look at me. "I told you not to talk to it." Then he packed up his things and left. No goodbye, no explanation, just gone. I stayed. I convinced myself it was a prank, nothing more. But every night, the voice came back. It started remembering things I'd forgotten. That lie you told your best friend? The time you stole from your mom? That thing you thought no one saw? It wasn't guessing. It remembered. A few nights ago, I recorded the voice on my phone. I thought I was losing it. When I played it back the next morning, static, nothing but static. I thought I was going crazy. Then last night, it used my mom's voice. "I miss you, baby. Just open the door." I didn't even realize I was crying until I saw the wet pillow. I slept in the hallway that night. Tonight, it didn't whisper, it screamed. My voice, begging, crying. It sounded like fists slamming against the closet door, like I was inside. I didn't move. I couldn't. My body was frozen. The door rattled violently and my voice, filled with panic, screamed out, "Help me! I'm leaving tomorrow. I should have left the first night, but before I go, I need to know what's on that recorder." I opened the closet. The recorder wasn't there, just another Polaroid. This time, it was me, standing in front of the closet, taking the picture. It was summer of 2016 when our new neighbors invited us over for a backyard barbecue. My parents, my younger sister Ellie, and I walked over around 8 p.m. It was our first time meeting them, a quiet couple named Ron and Denise, and their teenage son, Caleb. Ron was friendly, but something about Denise and Caleb put me on edge. Caleb didn't say a word. He kept glancing around nervously, almost twitchy, and his eyes lingered on me a little too long. I caught him staring 3 times, and each time it made my skin crawl more than the last. After we ate, the adults chatted while I quietly slipped back home. I felt uncomfortable. The next morning, I walked to my high school, just 2 blocks from our place in Jackson, Missouri. When I passed their house, I noticed someone duck behind a tree. I glanced again. Nothing. I picked up my pace. A block from school, I checked behind me. Someone crouched in a bush. It was Caleb. His long hair gave him away. He was watching me. I got to school safely and told my parents that night. They talked to Ron and Denise. When they came back, they just said, "He's not like other kids," as if that explained everything. Later, I was doing homework on the patio when I looked up at their house. Caleb was at the second-floor window, staring straight at me. When he saw me notice, he ducked. I ran inside. Again, my parents brushed it off. That night, after texting friends, I set my phone down and turned to sleep. Maybe an hour passed before I heard a soft click. Then my window slid open. I screamed. My parents burst in just as a figure climbed through. It was Caleb, holding a kitchen knife. My dad grabbed me and yanked me out as all of us screamed. We rushed to the neighbor's house. Ron grabbed Caleb from our living room, disarmed him, and dragged him home. My dad stood outside yelling while the rest of us waited inside. He called the police, got a restraining order, and promised those neighbors hell if they weren't gone by the week's end. The cops took Caleb away. We don't know where he is now, but we've never seen him again.